What happens when a pirate enters a world of hunters? A world where strength is measured, where ranks define your worth, where survival is never guaranteed. And in the middle of it all, a gate opens, dark, silent, unpredictable, a dungeon, something no one fully understands. And from that gate, someone appears, not a hunter, not a soldier, but a pirate, Monkey D. Luffy. At first, he doesn't understand where he is. The air feels different, heavy, strange. The ground beneath his feet, cold and unfamiliar. He looks around, confused, curious, because to him, this is just another adventure. But for everyone else, this is danger. Hunters stand at a distance, watching him, trying to understand him, because something about him feels wrong. No rank, no system, no aura they recognize. And yet, there's something there, something powerful, something unpredictable. Before anyone can speak, a sound echoes through the dungeon. A growl, deep, violent. A monster appears, large, aggressive, hungry. The kind of creature that usually takes a full team to defeat. The hunters step back, preparing for a fight. But Luffy, he smiles, like he always does. No fear, no hesitation, just excitement. The monster charges, fast, ferocious, ready to kill. And in the next second, it's over. One punch, that's all it takes. The monster is sent flying, crashing into the dungeon walls. Silence follows. The hunters freeze, confused, shocked. Because that wasn't normal. That wasn't skill. That wasn't technique. That was pure instinct. Luffy looks at his hand, satisfied, like nothing happened. And suddenly, something appears in front of him. A glowing window, floating in the air, a system. He tries to analyze him, to measure him, to rank him, but it fails, because Luffy doesn't fit into rules. He pokes it, confused, annoyed, and then ignores it completely, because to him, it doesn't matter. More monsters appear, drawn by the noise, the energy, the chaos, and the dungeon turns into a battlefield. But this time, it's different. Luffy moves faster, stronger, more fluid, dodging attacks without thinking, striking without hesitation, laughing through the fight. Because this is what he does. This is who he is. A fighter, a survivor, a man who refuses to lose. The hunters watch in disbelief, because what they're seeing is beyond the system, beyond ranking, beyond logic. And then the dungeon changes. The air tightens, the ground shakes. A new presence appears, heavier, darker, more dangerous. A boss, massive, terrifying, the kind of creature that ends raids. The hunters step back again, this time in fear, because this is not a fight they can win. But Luffy, he steps forward, smiling, excited, like always. The boss attacks, a massive strike, fast enough to crush anything in its path. But Luffy dodges, effortlessly, his body moving on instinct. Perfect timing, perfect control. The fight begins, a clash of power, speed, destruction. Every impact shakes the dungeon. Walls crack, debris falls, energy explodes in every direction. But Luffy keeps going, adapting, evolving, learning with every move. And then his power rises, not from the system, not from levels, but from within. His hake ignites, the air trembles, the boss hesitates. For the first time, it feels something, fear. Luffy strikes, one final blow, and the boss falls. Silence returns, the dungeon calms. The hunters stand frozen, because nothing they know explains this. And then, from the shadows, something else appears. A presence, familiar, cold, controlled. Some Jinwoo, the shadow monarch, watching, observing, interested. Because for the first time, he sees someone who doesn't belong to the system. Someone who fights without rules, without limits, without control. And Luffy, he turns, smiles, like he just found a new challenge. Two worlds, two powers, two paths, about to collide. So tell me, what happens when a hunter meets a pirate who refuses to be controlled? Who wins? The system or freedom?